Hello, this is Bob Joyner, and this is a recording for Monday, July the 8th, 2024. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at just key levels of the SPY for intraday trading and going to see how those lines apply carried over into the next day's trading, and also take a look at VWAP. So VWAP is something, of course, volume weighted average price, that you'll find a lot of videos about on YouTube. You'll find different strategies about how to use VWAP, and we'll just talk briefly about it today. But let's go ahead and take a look at the charts here. I've got it pegged out from today from 9:30 until 4 on the charts. This is just a simple 5-minute chart using Heiken-Ashi candles. So the main thing I want to talk about is just key levels. So where did price go? Why did it stop there? Why did it find support? Why did it find resistance? So that's like a basic understanding of the charts for that day without even adding a lot of indicators or a lot of myths. Just looking at naked price. You should be able to do that on your own charts. So we're going to take a look. So first off, 9:30 this morning, we had a zoom up. Market has been very bullish, of course, and we had a continuation of that at the open, and we went all the way up to this S1 line up in here, as you can see. So I'm going to draw a red line there. That's where we met obvious area of resistance, and that was just a simple technical carryover from the day before. That's how these pivot lines are plotted. If you're using TC 2000 software, you just go to your indicators and you'll be able to add pivot lines if you don't already have that on your chart. So obvious area of resistance up in there. Where did we find support? We found support first off down in here, which is pretty near the break-even moment for the day. So I'm going to paint that one green, and then we failed that, and then we moved back down and went to a new low of the day. So I'm going to paint that green. So those are pretty obvious levels. The other thing that's pretty obvious on the chart here is VWAP. VWAP is this dashed orange line that you'll see running through the charts here. Okay, so right at the open, we're crossing up. We're staying above VWAP, as you can see. Bullish candles, 5-minute Heiken-Ashi candles is what we're looking at here. And then we start to get some red candles after we resist that area up at top where in hindsight, we've drawn that red line just to show the high of the day at that point. And we come back down, we cross through VWAP. So that's the first big thing that happens there, is price crossing down through VWAP with the red candles. Basically, percentages, I'd say 80-20 rule on VWAP is that if price is above VWAP and it's coming down to VWAP or towards that area, then VWAP is support. Overall, if price is coming up into VWAP, right, then VWAP is going to be overall going to be resistance. So 80-20 rule, I'd say. In this case, we broke through. That's the 20% that breaks through. So you can't always you can put your trade there if you want to, but you've got to have a stop on the other side at some point pretty tight in case we do break that line. Price comes down again. We come back up, we test VWAP here again and reject it. We test VWAP up here again, reject it. And VWAP, of course, is just slowly trending lower, trending lower. We come up here and test it again, reject it. Come up here, test it again, reject it. Test it again, reject it. A little pattern there, right? And we come on down through the end of the day, and we've stayed below VWAP pretty much the entire day after that one crossing. So we had several tests along the way, but each time VWAP price rejected the VWAP coming from underneath. Again, when do you enter the trade? Depends on your style. Some people want to have a confirmation of the trade before they enter the trade. Some people will try to enter right on the dot, right on the line, right? And then just have their stop placed above that line. So, for example, in the first big test right in here, if you had entered right at the line, let's say, then your stop is not going to be way up here at the top. So where's your stop going to be? Your stop's going to be where you're comfortable based on the equity that you used. So there are a couple of ways to play VWAP. You can play it right on the line, and you can have your stop placed right on the opposite side of that. So if price decides to go through VWAP, then you'll hit your stop. Since it's an 80-20 rule, basically, test it out for yourself. Keep track of it. But if it's an 80-20 rule, then 20% of the time you're going to get stopped out. 80% of the time you're going to have at least a small profit. You can either scalp that trade, since VWAP is hitting quite often in this session today, or you can wait till you have more of a confirmation, till you have red on red on various candles. The other reason for drawing these lines, though, is because we'll look at it tomorrow and the rest of the week, but we'll see if these lines come back to get retested again. We draw a line up here at VWAP as well, since that acted as an area of resistance. That gives us like 4 lines that we can carry over into the next day's session on top of all the other lines of support and resistance that we can be watching. But it's good to know that. Now I'm drawing lines in this chart today. Actually, when I'm drawing it on the charts for members, I typically draw a rectangular box, and for example on the bottom one down here, I will include the wicks, include the wicks in that drawing so that we can see the area of support. Support and resistance obviously is not just a single line, it's an area. As you can see, we had several pin bars dropping down in the box, finding support, popping back up, dropping in the box, finding support, popping back up. And that's the way support and resistance tends to work, of course. You could also do that up here at VWAP. Draw it on the pin bars there, and when you see it dropping below the pin bars and you have bodies of candles in red, then you can short it. Different ways to play it. You can wait for a confirmation for the short. You can enter it right in the line with a tight stop just past VWAP. Either way you want to play it. But those lines, we'll see how those lines do, but those lines will probably carry over into tomorrow or later. 556.25 or 556.20 would be the first line. Roughly 550 would be the other area, and then 554.30 will be the other key area. Those are the 3 key areas I would be watching as we go forward. So I'm going to take away that line since that one fell to the wayside. Taking a look at VWAP. So let's just go back for a second and let's look at other days. Let's look at, so we can look at Friday. We talked about this briefly on Friday, I think. Again, VWAP is tested here. We have green candles. We're nowhere near VWAP here on this 1 o'clock entry point. But again, we have green candles. We can see everything moving back up and diverging away from VWAP. That's the way to think about it, is what is price doing? What are the 3 or 5 EMA? Do we have a 3 and 5 EMA crossover above VWAP, which we do here? Yeah. Do we have one here? Yep. Do we have one here? Yep. So a 3-5 EMA crossover above VWAP, bullish trend. If it crosses back down, you're out of the trade. Again, 3-5 EMA crossover. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty simple little strategy there, and you could have used that today, a 3 and 5 EMA crossover again to trade it based on VWAP hitting that overhead resistance. And then just a quick note in aftermarket here, what happened? We came right up and tested that same high from this morning's high, and we're already testing that in aftermarket there. Hope your trading is going well. Thanks for liking and subscribing to this channel. I'm going to try to do a quick video every day. Hopefully this is good information. Just a little bit of training every day to try to learn something new every day to help us become better traders, right? So hope you're doing well. Talk to you later.